Good evening and welcome to the 26th episode of Leadership Conversations in the Development Sector. The social impact sector is full of passionate leaders with innovative outlooks on the world's greatest problems. Our leadership conversations focus on the unique insights offered by these leaders as they share their experiences and move the development sector forward. Our host, Go Barefoot, is an interactive web portal dedicated to the social sector. It brings together individuals, NGOs, NPOs, and the CSR arms of organizations with the mandate of creating a one-stop information website for both networking and knowledge sharing. We are supported by Catalyst, an NGO which has been preparing young women for leadership roles to create equality in opportunities and bridge the gender gap. Also, we are supported by Third Sector Partners, India's only executive search firm exclusively for the development sector. Our guest today is one of the leading lights in the development sector. I would like to extend a warm welcome to Shriyans Bhandari, founder and CEO, Green Soul. Shriyans is an Hi.
Wonderful being here.
Same here. So Shriyans, author and co-founder of Green Soul. He has done Bachelor's of Management Studies in Finance from Jai Hind College, Mumbai, and MSM Entrepreneurial Leadership from Babson College, Franklin W. Olin. Shriyans is an ardent marathon runner who ran in 85 long-distance races. He started as an athlete from Mumbai and ran hundreds of kilometers each year. And in the process, he went through several pairs of sports shoes. He noticed wasted sneakers that had no future life, just increasing the pollution. This passion gave him a unique business idea of recycling the used shoes. In 2015, Shriyans and his friend decided to recycle old footwear and founded Green Soul. Green Soul recycles the used shoes and molds them into new slippers. He is also the director and board member of Heritage Girls School. Mr. Bhandari is also a TEDx speaker. In conversation with Mr. Bhandari is Shital Kakkar Mehra, leadership expert and executive presence coach for CEOs. Shital has trained over 75,000 professionals across Asia and has personally coached over 1,000 CXOs in the past 2 decades. She has conducted workshops for diverse organizations across Asia and has been invited as a speaker by leading B schools and professional associations. She's a best-selling author, and her latest best-selling book, Executive Presence, The Poise Formula for Leadership, is India's first research-based formula on the leadership skills. Shital is an active philanthropist and a social entrepreneur. We welcome you, Shriyans, and I now hand it over to Shital. Thank you.
Thank you, Anjali. Welcome, Shriyans. We are very excited to hear your views. And I'm going to start out with my first question, which is that you started your journey as a philanthropist in 2015 when you were in your early 20s. That's pretty young. Since then, of course, you have donated hundreds of thousands of pairs of shoes to underprivileged. And your startup Green Souls, of course, recycles used shoes, which is a phenomenal idea. You've also set up a center, which is very interesting, in Jharkhand with Tata Steel to train tribal women in recycling old footwear. So, a couple of things. First of all, although Anjali's introduction gave us a sneak peek into why you started this, but tell us a little bit more about your passion for this cause. And secondly, as a social entrepreneur, highlight a few challenges that you faced in the initial part of the journey. So yes, over to you.
So we started when I was 19 years old. Even Ramesh, who's the co-founder, was of similar age. And at that time in 2015, I think social entrepreneurship and social cause wasn't, even CSR wasn't that prevalent. Sustainability, social cause has become much more well known now. People are looking for such startups and taking up such causes actively. And being athletes, Ramesh and I used to throw away old shoes. And because I was into photography, running, different things, so I always wanted to, take up ideas and take it to the next level. So as soon as I came up with this idea, I saw Ramesh who was trying to mend his shoes. So it stayed with me that, why are shoes, what is happening to shoes, what happens at the end of their life? Is someone taking care of this particular problem? So it stayed with me. And then I did research and found to my surprise that millions of shoes go to landfill while so many people don't have a pair of footwear. And in Africa and different countries, people even get infected by not wearing footwear. Through contamination, they get various diseases. Even in India, the situation is not much better. So this is what prompted us that our particular problem of throwing away old shoes, if we find out a way of converting it and reusing it, it can be helpful to millions of people. That's what really motivated us, and I'm glad that I was able to take that first step of converting this idea into a social enterprise. But at that time, we were just passionate about this idea and we just wanted to solve our own problem of not throwing away old shoes. Later on, we discovered that it can help so many people, and we are happy that we've been able to reach about 500,000 people who've got these shoes. And it's also half million people who 500,000 shoes would have ended up in landfills. So it's environment plus social cause. And about the skill center that you mentioned, that is our economic good vertical, which is we try and employ women from tribal locations into making these footwear. So we're targeting economic good by skill center, social good by donating footwear, and environmental good by recycling. So we're targeting these three.
Super. So tell us a couple of challenges that you faced initially, like while it's a great idea, and of course you mentioned that you were trying to solve your problem of not throwing old shoes, but for our young entrepreneurs who would be our listeners in the audience, if you could highlight, like, what was initially one of the biggest challenges that you faced in making this model work?
So we were very young in our, just 19 years old. So we didn't know about entrepreneurship, manufacturing, because recycling requires a setup where you can go, you can collect shoes. It requires a supply chain. It requires raw material. It requires a complete set of things which have to come together, and then only your process can work. Plus, you need a model where you can get funds and upcycle them. So we were
Right.
complete outsiders to this industry. So we didn't have any like funds to put into the venture. We didn't have any technical background. Even when we were recycling, people refused that we can't work on old shoes, that it is
Mm,
against our religion. So we were facing a lot of hurdles, but being young people, we were like, okay, we have to make this work anyhow, and we didn't think of these things as challenges and just took it up as small problems which were stepping stones. So we got experts from Kolkata FDDI who could help us in this. We participated in startup competitions. At IIT Bombay, we won a competition which gave us about 3 lakhs, and some other competitions. At that time, it was a big amount. And once we got this prize money, we were like, now we have to utilize it into building this venture. So we solved our technical, financial, all these challenges. We sorted out our model also. We got corporates who could fund us under their CSR. Later on, we got retail. We went into recycling solutions for companies. But I think the initial phase is really challenging, where
yeah.
but you have to overcome it and get started. Once you get started, then there's a lot of help which is available. But
So
getting
much
started is
passion.
the
Yeah, so much enthusiasm and motivation to keep going. That in
yeah,
itself
very
is very challenging, and many people give up at that stage. But wonderful that you kept going, and it's helped a lot of people. Now, you're a very multifaceted person. You run a girls' school in Udaipur, which is one of the leading schools in India. And please share with our listeners how you managed to juggle an NGO activity on one side and education on the other, both of which are very, very inspiring. So, yeah, we would love to hear from you.
Both are actually startups. They're about 5 to 7 years old. For a girls' school, it is still young, 7 years old school. And I learn a lot from both these things. From a startup, I learn innovation. From running a girls' school, I learn organization, team building, and different things. And I earlier started with Green Soul, and I used to be in Bombay and handle that venture. And then my family came up with the school, Heritage Girls School, which is then was handed over to me to handle it. So I took it up as a positive step that you know you can manage multiple things. You require processes which you need to put in place, and it teaches you a lot of perspective. And I think I took it up as a challenge. And since 5 years, I've been managing both these things, and I'm learning from both of them and implementing the learnings at both the places.
Wonderful. And yet you found time to write a book on the birds of Aravalli. So clearly a multifaceted person. So tell us very quickly, what was the reason to, I know you're a photographer, but a photo essay on that subject. Just share with our audience.
Sure. I've written another book after that on
Okay.
entrepreneurship. That was while running girls' school and Green Soul. And regarding the first book, as I said, I like taking up things to the next level. So I was interested in photography. So instead of leaving it there, I went on and made a book. My father also inspired me that don't leave it at photographs, share it with people, make it into a format which can stay on for a long period of time. So that's what motivated me to writing this Birds of Aravali, which is a coffee table book. And also I learned a lot in that process. I learned about pricing. I learned about managing vendors, which would later help me in Green Soul. So
Superb.
it's always good to take up challenges, especially when you are young. You can do a lot of things,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Wonderful, superb. Now, my next question is connected to being an entrepreneur, and it's great that you've written a book on it. So, you as a young entrepreneur, what is the biggest risk that you took in your career, and what was your biggest learning from that risk that you took?
I think being in Bombay and convincing my parents that I can do this startup. I practically don't have even 1 month's job experience. I've never worked under someone. I've directly the only work experience I have is with Green Soul and with Girls School. So that was the biggest challenge, but it has paid off because I was able to learn on the job. I was not uh, trained, so I was able to make my own path, make my own decisions, your own learnings. So it has really paid off for me. And I think whenever you get clarity on what you want to do, you need not stop. You just you should go ahead and start off that thing. You shouldn't wait for the right time, for the right experience to come to you. I think it will eventually happen.
So, you learn on the job, and as you go along, you keep solving the problems and bigger problems, smaller problems. But that's
Yeah.
a superb piece of advice from a young entrepreneur. Now, the interesting bit is that technology has played a game changer and we've seen especially during the pandemic. And yeah, it's changed the way we interact, the way we connect, the way we, do business. So, in your opinion, any insights you can give on technology, how it has played a great game changer for Green Souls, and how you have leveraged it to reach more people? Yeah, Shreyansh, can you hear me? Yeah. So I
Yeah,
was
I get it.
asking how technology has played a game changer for Green Soul. So yes, please share with our listeners something around along those lines.
So we've been into recycling for 5 years now. And apart from footwear recycling, we were able to get into apparel recycling, then retail of sustainable footwear. So I think it's not, you know, what has been key for us is not stopping at one place. We've always been innovating. We've always been into getting into different kind of innovation related to recycling. So I think innovation is quite key, enthusiasm and a long-term vision.
Super. Mistakes, failures, learnings. Is it okay to make a mistake? Does the development sector actually have an ecosystem where mistakes can be made? So tell us a little bit about that. And when you look back at your short, brief career of 7 years where you've achieved so much, what according to you was one of the mistakes that you made? And, so yes, tell us more, because failures, mistakes demotivates people, but people would be very excited to hear what are the failures, mistakes you made and what you learned from them.
Definitely, at some points in time, we felt like quitting because we were not able to get even the basics right of how to upcycle a single pair. But it's because of the persistence that we kept going. We were able to get experts. We were able to do tie-ups, which taught us a lot about manufacturing, more than what we could ever learn. And in terms of mistakes, I think there's none I regret, and there's none that we couldn't learn from and get up. So I think that's the biggest learning that you know we've been very enthusiastic and we've not uh, taken any challenge as the full stop. So it's been only commas in our journey, which have
Super.
led us till this stage.
Wonderful. Nicely put. Now, as a leader in the social impact space, you have seen poverty up close. You've also seen the inequalities in India. So please share your views on both these topics, because of the fact that you interact with people who actually cannot even afford a pair of shoes and for whom old recycled shoes is something that they get by. So yes, please share with our audience something around the lines of poverty and inequality that you have witnessed, and some insights on that.
Yes, we've been really lucky to go on ground and do donation drives. And we are also happy to make a tangible difference where we see students coming barefoot. And once they get a pair of footwear by evening, it makes a big difference in their life. And I think there is inequality in India. And, like you have a multi-story building, but few houses later, you have people who can't afford even the basics. So that is the condition in our country. So I think we should follow charity begins at home, where we should actually get on the ground and look around and help people. Only when
Agree
we
with you.
lend a helping hand.
Yeah. Superb. Yeah, I agree with you completely. But also, donor profile has changed drastically. Now we have a lot of people who are very energetic, very motivated, who are very enthusiastic about charity, something that we didn't see a couple of decades ago. Of course, economic progress is a part of the reason that we are seeing this. But the fact is that mindset has also changed. Lots of young kids today talk about sustainability. We also hear words like young philanthropy, collaborative philanthropy. So tell us a little bit more about your views on these phrases that we keep hearing.
Very much, because the startup culture is brewing in India. We have a lot of tech billionaires. We have, Shark Tank. We have a lot of young entrepreneurs who have crypto entrepreneurs who have become really rich, and they are getting into philanthropy. And apart from that, there's a lot of social enterprises also, which were not there 5 years back. And there's also mandatory CSR which the government has implemented. So from the corporate side, from the young entrepreneur side, from the cultural side, I think from all these areas, there's a lot of focus on social entrepreneurship. Charitable causes, which is really great.
Want to change the world, want to save the world, and want to reduce the poverty and the inequality, which is anyway drastically increasing with every day that goes by. And COVID has also shown a K recovery, which is increased the gap. So yes, thank you you, and it's wonderful to have young entrepreneurs, who want to change the world. Now, what is your one piece of advice to young entrepreneurs in our audience, our listeners, who on how they should manage their career or move with passion for a cause that they want to support? Look back at your career. Can you share your journey with them?
So one piece of advice will be not waiting and getting started, not waiting for the right experience, right time, and just believing your gut feeling, which is also really important. What you really feel about the idea, and don't be afraid of sharing your idea with others. Sometimes we feel, if we share our ideas in the initial days, it can get copied, but no one can copy your enthusiasm and the genuinity.
Right.
So be fearless and move ahead. I think that would be my
Wonderful. And also, I guess, collaborate, because
piece of advice.
you have a co-founder who's as passionate about the cause as you. So yes, I guess work together, share your ideas. Don't procrastinate. Don't wait to get started. Get started and then handle the challenges. Superb pieces of advice from you. Thank you so much, Riyan. We have questions from the audience. So we have Adya from Third Sector Partners, who has a very interesting question. So could we have the spotlight on Adya, please?
Hi,
Yes,
Shriyans.
Adya.
So good to hear about the entire journey that you've had with both your startups, Green Soul as well as the school. And I was wondering, recently there are a lot of companies and a lot of people, social entrepreneurs who've gotten into sustainability. Similarly, I just wanted to know your thoughts about various organizations which are getting into sustainability, particularly in the footwear business. Could you also share some examples of companies who are into that, and what is the easiest for you to market it out? How do you market it to general public as well?
So, like what happened in the automobile sector, the shift from diesel to electric. Similarly, in the footwear space and also FMCG, all places, packaging, manufacturing, everyone is moving into sustainability.
Shreyansh, we lost you there. Could I just request you to repeat that last sentence? I think we lost reception there.
So,
Shreyansh, Shreyansh, could we request you to repeat the last couple of sentences? We lost reception there. I guess he'll be back in a couple of seconds.
Bandwidth is very low, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think he'll log in. Sakshi?
Yes, Shital.
Okay, yeah, I think we'll have to allow him in.
Yes, we are connecting with him. We'll check.
Yes. Yes, in the meantime, definitely a superb question, Adya, on sustainability. Yes, and how companies like even Adidas are today talking about
Yes.
sustainability in footwear. Yes, Shreyansh, welcome back. We were just discussing how even global giants are talking about sustainability in footwear. So yes, over to you.
very much. I think even we have partnered with Adidas into actually recycle about 40,000 pairs with us annually.
Okay.
So all these defects, rejects, instead of discarding them, it comes back to us, recycled and then donated to children in need. So they're able to fulfill, environment plus social good. And I think, like I was saying earlier, like the shift which has happened from diesel to electric, similarly in the footwear space, FMCG, manufacturing, or everyone wants to move into sustainability. And even the customers are demanding it as a feel good factor now, but later I'm sure they'll even understand, everyone will start understanding the importance. The government also wants it. So overall, the shift is bound to happen sooner or later. Everything, uh, next 10 years, we'll discard anything which is not sustainable. So there's a big change which is about to happen. And we are happy to be in a space which is, we are into sustainability and social cause. So this is going to trend in the next 10 years also, I think. And a lot of people are joining hands, corporates, there's a lot of help available. And in footwear sustainability, we've seen startups who are making footwear out of polythenes. We've seen brands like different brands which are making footwear from tires.
Tires, yes.
Other brands which are like, even if we talk about Green Soul, we are making footwear out of shoelaces, wine cork. We are using like cactus leather, bio-based PU. Even in the soles, we are using a mix of wood and different granules. So we are trying to achieve 70-80% sustainability in our footwear. And soon we aim to become, we even aim to make a footwear which is biodegradable,
Oh,
so made out
wow.
of a single material, and you can use it, and then if you put it in your backyard, it's gone in 15 days. So we do plan to
Superb.
achieve it at some point in time. It's an ambitious goal,
Lovely.
but
Yes.
either, if there's a shoe, either we upcycle it or we make it biodegradable. So that will be a goal
Correct.
maybe by 2025 or 2028 maybe.
Sounds phenomenal, wonderful. We look forward to that. And we have a final question
Thank you.
from
Thank you, Shriyans.
yeah. We have a final question from Saranga. So could we have the spotlight on Saranga, please? Hi, Saranga. You're on mute.
Yes.
Could you unmute yourself?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. So, hello, Shreyansh, and it's been wonderful hearing you, and your journey is really inspirational. So, I just have one question. I have read that you have set up a skill center in Jharkhand, upskilling center for with the tribal women. So, I just wanted to know, have you faced any challenges while working with, or while setting up the center, or while working with these women? And how have you overcome them, and any learnings which you would like to share with us during this process?
So these have been women which were previously unemployed, unskilled. So it took us a much longer time to actually train them. But we were very determined that we want people who are locals from there, whom we could employ and provide a job. And it has really changed their life. Now they have much more confidence. They're someone who gets a paycheck every month. They've learned a skill also, which is lifelong. Now they can even start entrepreneurship venture where they can, make footwear and sell it and export it, or work in a footwear factory. So skilling creates tremendous impact.
Yes,
And we are also doing recycling and donation, but nothing creates more impact than teaching someone a skill. They can earn a living using that skill lifelong. So we'll
Wonderful.
definitely encourage as much skilling as possible in all fields.
wonderful, wonderful. Thank
Great
you.
question, Saranga. Thank you so much. We've run out of time, and thank you, Shreyansh. It's been wonderful chatting with you, and we've really enjoyed interacting and hearing your views on so many issues. And a big, big thank you to our audience for logging in, and thanks once again, and wishing you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.